Did some meetings at receiver, did some meetings at DB, so still up in the air. They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person.
Maybe the Giants get a little greasy. Maybe they get a little antsy and they say, give me both of them. And a report was made to NFL security. They said Ian Rappaport was screaming for NFL security. Travis Hunter just shut the NFL combine down. And I think a lot of people expected that. Today he was taking his questions and most recently announced that he will not be performing any drills at the NFL Combine. And I think there's going to be a broader conversation to have about the Combine and, so many of these top players, opting out and what it really means. But today we're going to listen to some of the snippets that Travis Hunter has. We're going to listen to some of the news because Travis Hunter might have just been secured as the first round pick. There's some Abdul Carter news. There's some things, so we'll go over that. This is what he has to say. Look at some things, maybe look at some mock drafts too, man. I appreciate the support on these videos. Appreciate all the new viewers. If you want to see any NFL draft, college football stuff, or off season, any other things, man, leave it down in the comments below if you want to see different type of content. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Let's hop right into it. Like I said, Travis Hunter will not be performing at his combine. Let's get right into all of the different questions. Shout out to a few different accounts on Twitter that got me these videos. They're very small, so we'll get through them, and then after that we'll talk about all this stuff. All right.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I stepped myself. I mean, I have some of the top awards and the biggest award in college football, so I feel like, I stepped myself. I did some meetings at receiver, did some meetings at DB, so still up in the air.
What's your sales pitch about why you think you should be able to play both ways?
They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person.
How important is the top five for you?
I did some meetings at receiver, did some meetings at DB, so still up in the air. They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different. Competitive, we want to see each other win, so we are probably the most hardest on each other because we know what we can do, we know what type of player we are.
The best quarterback in this draft?
I'm very confident. I believe he's definitely the best quarterback in this draft. Probably me, what I do in football, because it's a lot of your body, It's a lot of things that he have done for me outside of football, which is like being a father figure to me. So I can go to him for anything and with anything. That's not my job to figure it out. I like to play both sides of the ball, and they give me the opportunity to play both sides of the ball and play both sides.
Who's the toughest?
All right, so those are the little snippets. Again, I apologize for the odd audio. It's just if you know anything about these things, trying to get it as quick as possible. Sometimes you don't get the best stuff. They're recording on like phones and different things like that. Just wanted to kind of talk about each of these things. And beforehand, I know I started this off and something, the title's going to be something about him breaking or destroying. Like I want it to be known, like, and a lot of people saw this coming, but there was people there for Travis Hunter. Like Travis Hunter is an anomaly, a person. I don't even feel like when Shador answers questions, I don't think you're going to see, you might see this around Cam, Shador, and Jack, like the top three guys like combined, but there is no other wide receiver or cornerback that's getting it. This is the DB day too, so there is no DB that's going to be. Oh no, there's tight ends today too, so definitely no DB that's going to be able to generate this, and you can see it from all different angles. I mean, like it's a lot, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more videos coming out, a lot more stuff coming out next YZ, and hopefully some things, but it's a lot harder to find some of these videos. Again, this is just another view of how crazy it is. The nastiness. I'm not sure if it's not necessarily nastiness, but it's just so many people, dog. It's so many people. All right, so going video by video, question by question, I'm gonna give my take that nobody asked for. Travis Hunter on his college career, he kind of talked about, hey, he's got some of the best awards. He's got the Heisman Trophy winning accolades, and I'm a big proponent. You're gonna find out, especially during the offseason. Hey, you're gonna learn this about me. I'm a big proponent of being able to reward people for their collegiate careers. And to be honest with you, any part of your athletic career, I think we downplay a lot of people's career. Case in point, and the example I always use is Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton is always looked at as a failure, quote unquote, this or that. But it's like a league MVP. a Heisman Trophy winner, a national championship winner. Like, these are things that can never be taken away. And before Travis Hunter takes this next step and this next level and does whatever and gets defined by whatever people want to define in the world of NFL, it's a whole different career. So this is a college Hall of Fame level career. The spotlight that he did, like you have to understand, Travis Hunter's career was impactful. He started in injected in this new energy and this wave of not just going to HBCUs, but just going to smaller schools in general. Now, I know things with NIL makes it a little shadier, but still this idea that, oh no, not just because basketball players do it a lot. They go to smaller schools because you can be more impactful, but now at a college level, let's do it. And at a football level, he is someone that's done that, a top rated recruit, the best one that you've ever seen at the cornerback position. And then when we see what he does and where he recruits and why he makes a decision, obviously the bigger conversation is about Deion Sanders, but it still, alleviates and highlights the different things, puts a highlight on HBCUs, puts a highlights on Colorado football, a historic football program. Like, there's a lot of things that he did that I think are going to go down as very historic in the collegiate level. So just congratulate him on that, because I think that's sometimes overlooked when we talk about college players. So Travis Hunter on his cornerback or wide receiver, like he said, he's up to, or leaving it up to the teams, right? He said he's had both interviews at both wide receiver and at cornerback. And like I said, he just seems to be very open about it. He seems to be open and open and wanting to play both as well, saying that he's just a different breed and that he can be able to do it. And I don't disagree with that. Again, I think the blueprint's simple. I don't know why everyone's acting so crazy. Dog, he's the starting cornerback and give him some packages on offense. Like, it doesn't have to be this crazy thing, especially as a rookie. I don't know, maybe he plays a little bit of slot, maybe he mixes in there. Maybe he doesn't have to be the starting cornerback right away, which allows him to also, be out there and running more routes and doing different things, maybe taking some jet passes. So I think that if you're a bad offensive coordinator, what you're going to do is overcomplicate it, right? You're going to make it a big deal when Travis Hunter's in. You're going to only have special packages. Travis Hunter needs to be in. He needs to get 30 snaps on offense, and like, there needs to be 5 times where he actually gets the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to start integrating. You know what I'm saying? And then allow him to have breaks when he's taking snaps, if that makes sense. Like, this is the NFL. Like, there's a strategic way you can do it. And when he comes in, you hide it. You don't make it a big deal. Just don't overcomplicate it, is what I'm saying. So Travis Hunter on Shedeur Sanders. This is cool to see and cool to hear. He acknowledges and shouts out his teammate. I mean, and look, like I said, this is not going to be – this is nothing that I don't think anybody didn't expect, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is nothing that nobody didn't expect, right? This is your guy. This is someone who's been throwing foosballs to you for, 3 years? He's a junior, right? For 3 years, 4 years. So you got to shout out your guys. And I think it's great that he has that confidence. He's showing that confidence. He's using his time. And both of the players, and Shedeur, I don't think it's enough shine for this too. Both of them do a really good job of highlighting their teammates. So taking that time and being like that and bolstering what he has to say, I think is just great. And I think it's going to do good things for both of them. I think it's going to be a good representation on him, and maybe it even help Shedeur out. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, what if, and this literally just came to my mind after reacting to that video. What if a team pulls a Houston Texans, a CJ Stroud, Will Anderson situation? You get a star defensive player, a hallmark defensive player, which shout out to Willie Anderson. I know what that boy do. And then you get your franchise quarterback all in one go at pick 2 and 3. Maybe you go 4, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you have to go 1, 2 to do it. Hey, you have to go 2 and 3. But maybe you go 1, 2 to do it. Hey man, say man. It could be nasty. Maybe the Giants get a little greasy. Maybe they get a little antsy and they say, give me both of them. Y'all come to New York. Hey, man, I don't know why people haven't thought about that. The Texans have opened up a door, so watch out if they say, we got to have them both. I want the chemistry. Imagine that. Imagine the team's playing, nah. I'm not going to separate them, because Shedeur is the best when he has Travis, and Travis is allowed to be comfortable on the field when Shedeur is there. I like that. Imagine them being that and having that thought process. Crazy times. So Travis Hunter on Deion Sanders again. If you've been watching this channel, y'all know this is another son It's been great on some sentimental ish, and I've done this in other videos to really see, like, this has been a growth thing. Like, not only with Shador, again, I'm a Deion Sanders fan. I watched Deion Sanders highlights in middle school instead of doing work. I'm sorry about it. So this is a phenomenal thing for me. Like, there's not going to be any hating for me. This is awesome. Like, he played great football. He did cool things. He inspired me as a kid. And now the kids and the people that he's rubbing off on, the people that he's allowed to imprint, no Twilight, yeah, please, I shouldn't know that, or allowed to, share his knowledge, his understanding, his everything, his teachings with, are being able to be celebrated at the highest level. That is a phenomenal thing. It's a great thing for me to see, especially if you love football. I mean, it's great stuff, elite stuff. So shout out to him and shout out to that relationship. And then of course the whole 100% snaps. He's talking about the whole 100%. That's dumb. I understand he's not gonna play 100%. I get that nobody's ever done it. But there's a reason why no one's ever done it, right? It don't make no sense. And, it doesn't make any sense to kind of almost nerf you in a sense, just to get off because you say that you can do some stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of odd. Travis Hunter wants to play both offense and defense, and that's, again, kind of the same thing there. Look, man, I think the real question, the comment, and the concern at this point, with that being said, again, a reminder, like we did at the top of the video, he will not be working out at the combine. And I think that was a little obvious. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people working out at the combine. I think people just tried to make a big deal of it because it was Shador. We talked about that. There's going to be a lot of people, especially people who have talent like that, like I just described, as I pontificated about. Travis Hunter has a generational level of game film. You know what I mean? It's not just that he has film, or that he just has the Heisman. It's, oh, okay, well then what else? Like, he's shown you 4 years? How many years? I forget. 3-4 years of just dominance. And then even if you count the HBCUs, if you watch real football, the only difference at HBCUs is really the offense and defense alignment. So quarterback play, wide receiver play, DB play. That's going to be at some of the top in college football, regardless, right? And then you do it at the Pac-12, and then you do it at the Big 12 level. Even though, it was this Big 12 was very Pac-12-y, so it's not the same Big 12 as it once was back when my glorious Texas. Well, anyway, it's not the point. The point is, taking a peek at some of these mock drafts. Again, I gave y'all my crazy scenario. I am of the thought process that, and the reason why I think this is, if you are sold on Travis Hunter as a wide receiver, and you're in this top 6 here, you kind of want Travis, you know what I'm saying? You want both, because again, if you want Shador, they don't want Shador, right? Or at least need a quarterback. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Even 5 possibly, right? I see any of these teams, any of those 5 teams being like, I mean, why not just make it easy on them? And then worst case scenario, I got a Sanders in the building. You know what I mean? Guys, this isn't like a loaded draft class, right? And that's why I mean it has to be 2-3. Cam Ward has the highest upside that people are saying. And I get it. Jackson Dart, he's going to go in the first round. I get it. But again, if you are bought into the Travis Hunter experience at wide receiver, that's very important. If you're bought into at wide receiver, and a lot of different people have been saying, hey, they want him at wide receiver. A lot of people have him as their wide receiver 1. Do I have that tweet here? I think we talked about that the other time. No, yeah, right here. My man, Sam, actually not my man. I don't like this dude, but he does do good stuff. He's from the 33rd team. He used to be with PFT, Fish from NFL. I haven't spoken to an analyst yet at the combine that doesn't have Travis Hunter as their wide receiver 1, and we're going to get into all these tweets and different things like that. So I don't think it's out of the realm that there are a lot more teams at that top whatever spot that consider him as just the best wide receiver all out. Because the crazy thing about Tatarion T-Mac, how you want to say it, because that's my wide receiver 1, just from a build standpoint. He didn't have the production, and even someone like Luther Burton, who was also gonna kind of like preseason perceived as wide receiver number 1. People were predicting him to have like a Heisman era wide receiver year. So, hey man, it's crazy how we got here. But all that being said, he becomes that wide receiver one because of the production. Like I said, the consistency that he has shown at the collegiate level, it cannot be undone. So if I have a hot take, if a quarterback needy team that is bought in at Travis Hunter as wide receiver one and knows that they can also possibly play him at corner, maybe play some nickel, even though I don't really want him in the slot that much. I think he needs to be cornerback 2. I think that's a little more comfy. But hey, maybe he proves me wrong, and I hope he does. But if that happens, watch out for a Texans move, man. I'm just saying, we're trendsetters. Shout out to my Texans. We're making the world go round in whole new places and spaces. But sorry, we're not even looking at the mock draft. Let's take a look at this mock draft. And I think the biggest thing, and that's going to lead us over the tweet, is that a lot of people have had Abdul Carter going at number 1. Look, Tennessee can still ideally, give another year to Levis, maybe go older. There's been talks and rumblings about Matthew Stafford. There's been talks and rumblings about Aaron Rodgers. So, hey, maybe they don't need a quarterback, and they just take who's presumably the best athlete out there, and Cam Ward goes to the Browns. Abdul Carter actually did have an injury. So the NFL Combine revealed that the number one potential of his test, he had a stress reaction in his right foot, and he may have surgery. So that was what was announced last night. And then following that this morning, after consulting with doctors again this morning, I'm just saying, the plan is for Abdul Carter to work out on his pro day and not have surgery. So again, there's another top tier player. And hey, if this is definitely a player whose film speaks loudly for himself. That dude's an absolute dog, a demon, a problem. Can play edge at a drastically nasty level, right? So it's great to see there. So I'm only bringing this up to say, first off, like I always say, and now that we've kind of got it all this way and we kind of talked about it, please remember the hallmark rule that I will say in every single one of my videos concerning the NFL draft. Any person speaking about the draft, any person that represents a team, any person that represents a player, GMs, coaches, all this other stuff, anything they say from when the college season ends, anything on a Pat McAfee show, on whatever, on a Twitter, on an X, until the day after the draft ends, it's all lies. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all whatever. Again, that's why I say, oh, that's crazy. He went to other doctors, and they say, oh, well, everything's fine. Interesting. Yeah, man, he's hurt. You know what I mean? And maybe he wanted to maybe he knew he hurt. Maybe he knew he was hurt and wanted the narrative to be, oh, well, I wanted to perform. And I don't even know if he was going to actually do drills, so, it doesn't sound me. But again, these are those games that can be played. Hey, oh, well, I wanted to do it. But, oh, dang, I have like a little minor injury that could be exasperated. And that's why I didn't, run now. I wait till my pro day. And like, was it next month is the pro days? I'm shaky on the pro days. But yeah, he would be 8 weeks if he had to do that. Something about a screw. Don't sound fun. But I guess technically he doesn't have it. And he is definitely thought of that he will be the number 1 pick. Again, I think trades are going to be a big part of this year, especially for the Combine. Something that I didn't think. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this. The returning punts and kicks. Here's the thing. The value that, except punts, the value that being a returner had and the way that you were a returner and how you could be both, like one body type could be both, it's not like that in the NFL. And it's not just because of the multiple rule changes, even though it does have a lot to do with the multiple rule changes of the kickoff. I think also it has to do with the way that, like you said, he has 2 jobs. Like it would be a lot as well. I think it would just, there's a reason why you start to see a lot more dedicated punters and kickers, punt returners and kick returners, unless you're somebody that's generational. And then we think about it also, Travis Hunter hasn't really done, unless somebody correct me if I'm wrong, he hasn't really done a lot of returning. So I don't think it makes sense for him to try to pick it up. Like you have to respect returners. Returners, that is an art. Devin Hester deserves the Hall of Fame for a reason. Like this is a real deal spiel. Last thing, and then we're gonna get up out of here because we're already on 19 minutes. Apparently, Fox reporter Jordan Schultz confronted NFL Network reporter Ian Rappaport at Starbucks. You got pressed up by, oh, wow. That boy got pressed up with a mocha latte in his hand. Fox Sports reporter Jordan Schultz confronted NFL Network reporter Ian Rappaport at Starbucks in the J.W. Marriott lobby at NFL Combine. Why did that boy get pressed up? So apparently Jordan Schultz reported that the Raiders minority owner Tom Brady hosted Matt Stafford in his Montana home where they were skiing in an effort to recruit Stafford in Vegas. Ian is reporting that the two merely ran into each other and no such contact happened. And those are like the individual tweets. This escalated in Indy today, which is they're reporting that Jordan Schultz verbally accosted Ian Rappaport